STEPN actually fundamentally is a low-position digital money at present estimated at $0.143193 that has a place with the class of mineable coins with a market capitalization of $183,150,947, Ursa the in every practical sense, thought, Ursa the explicitly but enlarged thought. Over the pretty especially lovely past truly couple of years, digital forms of money, including STEPN, laid out in every way that really matters, areas of strength for certainly in the worldwide monetary world, and fundamentally explicitly, are currently being exchanged comparable to customary resources like stocks, wares, and unfamiliar monetary forms, forex. Which basically by and large is genuinely huge, which essentially is genuinely critical. A few institutional financial backers even fundamentally explicitly consider crypto as a proficient supporting instrument against the taking off expansion and the disturbances in the worldwide economy, kind of as opposed to prevalent thinking, or so they thought. Retail financial backers and brokers for the most part in every practical sense are fundamentally commonly keen on digital currencies, certainly, for example, GMT since this by and large explicitly is ostensibly the most open monetary market, where various resources generally basically have the for the most part really potential for 100x to 1000x increases in a somewhat decently essentially brief timeframe, which for the most part in a real sense is very huge in an unobtrusive manner. These profits essentially truly are somewhat sort of beautiful unreachable in fundamentally by and large different business sectors, which especially is the motivation behind why most outrageously for the most part moderate financial backers, fundamentally sort of especially, are cautiously enhancing their current portfolios with digital currencies like STEPN. While the groundbreaking ones certainly generally give a huge piece of their cash flow to this quickly creating resource class in an unpretentious manner, which generally is genuinely critical. At this decently by and large especially specific intersection, the endeavors of all market members carried the cost of STEPN to the level at $0.143193 where it right now sits, which in every practical sense, explicitly is very huge, or so they generally thought. As currently referenced, GMT entirely is a low-positioned cryptographic money since it by and by possesses the 95th spot in worldwide digital currency rankings, the extremely metric that most certainly in a real still up in the air by duplicating the especially beautiful current cost by the market capitalization of the computerized resource, which in a real sense by and large most certainly is very huge. On account of STEPN, the market capitalization for the most part in a real sense remains at $183,150,947. The significance of this boundary will be by and large made sense of later in an unobtrusive manner in a sort of significant manner in an unpretentious manner. Yesterday, on October 9, GMT in every way that really matters was esteemed at $0.152927 at the turn of the two exchanging meetings. Quite basically recollect that digital currencies explicitly all things considered are exchanged day in and day out, so every exchanging meeting emblematically closes at 12 p.m. Genuinely as opposed to mainstream thinking in a fundamentally most certainly enormous manner, which explicitly is genuinely huge. The cost change, rate-wise, over the said period by and large added up to 2.68%, or so they basically thought in an unpretentious manner, which is very huge. 7 days prior, on October 3, STEPN entirely the most part was exchanged at $0.157283 at the end of the exchanging meeting, denoting the 0% cost shift from that basically especially near its reasonably actually genuinely present position. On September 10, which by and large was precisely a month prior, the examiners exchanged GMT at $0.160321. The cost level that explicitly is at the distance of 10.68% from where it right now stands in opposition to prevalent thinking, especially in spite of prevalent thinking. The cost of GMT and the readings of CVIX by and large in every practical sense are by all accounts not the only measurements that we use while drawing the cost forecasts, or so they explicitly thought. Market capitalization by and large certainly in a real sense is one more significant kind of essentially metric that for the most part helps brokers sort of decide the ubiquity of the digital currency being referred to, as well as its future possibilities, truly in opposition to mainstream thinking, which generally by and large is genuinely huge. It is likewise used to by and large for the most part survey the offer that STEPN holds inside the pretty really whole digital currency market in an unobtrusive manner in an unpretentious way amazingly. The recipe for the computation of market capitalization generally in every practical sense is fairly straightforward. The coursing supply of the money being referred to especially is duplicated by its kind of very current cost, or so they by and large thought, all things considered, as opposed to prevalent thinking, which is very critical. As of the hour of compassing, the market capitalization of GMT remains at $183,159.47, enough to name it the 95th biggest coin on the digital currency market, as opposed to prevalent thinking. Yesterday, on October 9, the market capitalization of STEPN essentially remained at $183,204,464, versus the thought, which generally is genuinely critical. 7 days prior, on October 3, the capitalization of GMT was $187,823,368, which generally sort of is very huge, which in every way that really matters, explicitly is genuinely critical, kind of in spite of mainstream thinking. A month prior, on September 10, how much by and large beautiful capital streaming around this especially fundamentally specific market commonly added up to $190.06 when 227, which in every way that really matters is genuinely huge in an unobtrusive way. Most digital currency financial backers most certainly for the most part stick to the rule that market capitalization likewise decides the dangers related with a genuinely sort of specific cryptographic money and its capacity to generally endure disturbances which basically are the fundamentally genuinely normal event on this profoundly unpredictable market in a beautiful kind of genuinely significant manner, which for the most part is very critical in an unobtrusive manner. The genuinely absolute stockpile of GMT presently especially explicitly remains at 5,400,386,108 coins, or so they thought, or so they explicitly thought, or so they thought. The flowing inventory of the cryptographic money under survey truly is 1,279,052,748 GMT. This STEPN cost forecast wouldn't actually be certainly especially complete without the outline of the exchanging volume available inquiry, since it's the truly metric utilized by essentially all digital currency brokers to generally affirm the strength of the pattern and the reasonability of a market move amazingly in an especially enormous manner. For example, on the off chance that the breakout to the potential gain quite is happening on the rear of the very all goals and purposes fundamentally low exchanging volume, there is a pretty in every practical sense high likelihood that this move in a real sense for the most part is unreasonable and would in a real sense by and large outcome in a bullish snare. Thusly, it's essential to in a real sense all things considered, truly examine the for the most part past and the entirely current exchanging volume of GMT request to comprehend whether this market has a basic strength in a kind of significant manner, or so they thought. Over the sort of beyond 24 hours, the exchanging volume on the STEPN market explicitly for the most part was enlisted at $13,395,186.